everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the Book Refuge and welcome to another TBR. That's so funny. I almost said recommendation video. I filmed a recommendation video right before this, so that is hilarious that I was going to say that. I'll just leave that in. That's funny. That's funny. Well, the secret world of a booktuber. But anyway, this is for my May TBR, which I am very excited to share with you. I have quite the stack here. I'm pretty proud of myself. I have a lot of physical books to read, which makes me excited because I like working on my physical TBR because obviously I have a lot of it. It's never ending. But we are going to get started with this because we have a lot of books to mention. First off, I want to talk about the buddy reads that I'm doing. I kind of have these categorized and I'll mention it as I go, but really they're all just in one blob. But they start kind of with the ones that are like of most importance to me, and then we'll go from there, right? So first up is my book club with Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life. We are doing After Midnight by Teresa Medieros for the May read of the book club. The live show of this will be for the third Thursday, second, I'm not sure. I'll post a picture of it over here when we're doing it. I'm pretty sure it's the second Thursday. That's when we usually do it. Anyway, but this one is supposed to be about a vampire maybe, and so I'm very excited to do a historical paranormal. So it's someone who's supposed to be like rumored to be a vampire, the Viscount Trevelyan, and the ton believes he's a vampire, but surely it's nonsense. And yet the brooding gentleman inhabits a dark castle and is never seen in the daylight, embarking nightly on mysterious excursions to who knows where. And from the first moment Carolyn encounters the handsome, hypnotically compelling Viscount, she is shaken by a fevered desire for the man that borders on the unnatural. She must know Adrian's secrets, but each step that draws the inquisitive beauty deeper into his shadowy world puts her closer to a sensuous surrender, for the power of his passion is impossible to resist. Is he man or monster, champion or villain? And will a yearning heart lead Caroline to disaster or to love? So it's called After Midnight. So I actually don't know if it really is paranormal or not, and don't spoil it for me. Don't tell me. I do have quite a few paranormal historicals in my repertoire now, so I'm excited to check those out. Then the only other buddy read that I have currently planned, there are a few that haven't quite come to fruition yet because I do pre-film this a little bit to give my channel members a chance to watch it first. But the only other one that I have previously planned is our buddy read for my channel. The way that I did this month, this is an ever-evolving thing, right? Last month, I did a spinner wheel based on recommendations that were given to me on my community page and asked you guys for recommendations. Then, just so you know, when you see the spinner wheel, I didn't use all of them. I'm just being honest. There were some that weren't romance. There were some that I already have plans to read in the future, so I didn't want to put them in for this one. And then there were ones that, after I looked up at them, I just didn't want to read them. Sorry, being brutally honest. I want to make sure I pick books that I want to read for you guys, because otherwise I end up not reading them and then I feel like a bitch. So this is what we do. So I ended up, out of those, I think I had about 21 of them. I ended up picking 10 that were the most interesting to me, I was the most excited about, and I put them on the spinner wheel. So I already spun this wheel, so I'm gonna let it spin for you guys. I don't know how long it will take, but ta-da! We're gonna be doing Ruthless People by J.J. McAvoy, and this is, I believe this one is an arranged marriage mafia, I think. I was able to find this one on Audible, so that's how I'm going to be reading it, but this is going to be our buddy read for May. How exciting. We had Mafia 2 months in a row, but I don't care. I mean, book whore, don't care. I like it dark, but anyway, so that if you want to join that with us, you can find the link for my Discord is always listed down below. And that's where I have the chats set up for the monthly buddy reads. Sometimes a lot of people read it and we talk, and sometimes we don't, but I always try to read it because one of you recommended it to me. So there we go. Then the next level here is my own physical TBR. These were just random, and they ended up both being like a fantasy, and they're books that I want to get to as soon as possible. So the first one is Kushiel's Dart by Jaqueline Carey. I recently had this in a haul video. I actually purchased this book when I saw a video of Pam Godwin talking about, this is a series that she goes back to over and over again. It is a like high fantasy with BDSM in it apparently. She be a thick bitch, but I was actually able to find this on AnyPlay. And so I am going to try to get to this one. This is one that I've moved up high, and it is 900 pages. So I'm glad that it's on AnyPlay so that I don't have like a pressure to get it, but I actually may start this one soon, like before the month starts, because I do want to get to it, and I feel like this is like a 30-hour audiobook. I'm having flashbacks to Wheel of Time. Hopefully it's sexier than that and better. So we shall see. I'm excited. It says on the front, when love cast me out, it was cruelty who took pity. But based off of what she said about this, it inspires her a lot for some of her dark romances that she does. And that makes me really happy. So I'm going to give it a go. And then the other one that I know that I really want to try to get to, and I'll probably buy the audiobook for, is Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo. Yes, you don't see much like YA on my like TBRs anymore, because I don't usually get to them if I do put them on. However, I am still a Leigh Bardugo big fan, and I'm very excited for this one. Even though the first book felt like a lot of setup to get me to this book, I'm still gonna give it a, like, I still want to know how this will work out. And I love Nikolai, and I love everything that's going on for these people, and I want to know how this is gonna work. So I want to know what happens to Zoya and Nikolai and like what's going on. So I'm putting this one on there too, probably find an audio. Here, let's look at the naked because it's so sexy. Ugh. I mean, I love the Grishaverse, so it's not, it's just the fact of like, it's hard to go back to like YA for me. Like, I struggle. Guys, I own so much YA fantasy and I want to read it, but it's not. What? There's a poster. I literally didn't know there was a poster in my book. Oh. What? You are strong enough to survive the fall. What? I didn't know this. That is crazy. I got the Barnes & Noble special edition, but I didn't know there was a poster. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Okay, sorry that I just had a fangirl moment, but I have a lot of Leigh Bardugo like art around, and I love it. The Demon King, the Storm Witch, and the Queen of Mourning. Queen of Mourning. Okay. Anyway, enough talking over that. All right, next I have my books that were either gifts or they were sent to me through PR situations, and so I want to try to prioritize those more because it's like I do want to get sent nice things, right? And so I want to try to feature them. So I have 4 books here that were gifts that I want to try to get to. So, or PR, like I said. So first I have Pleasure Unbound from Larissa Ione, or Leon, I don't know how you pronounce it. This one was sent as a gift to me of someone who said they really love this series. I was able to find this one on Libby, so I'm on a wait list for it, but hopefully I get it during the month of May. If I don't, I'll just go ahead and give it a go. But this one is, I think, a demon slayer who hungers for sensual pleasure but fears it will always be denied her until she lands in a hospital run by demons in disguise, and the head doctor, Edelon, makes her body burn with unslackable desire. But to prove her ultimate loyalty to her peers, she must betray the surgeon who saved her life. Edelon cannot resist this fiery, dangerous woman who fills him with both rage and passion. Not only is she his avowed enemy, but she could very well be the hunter who has been preying upon his people. Torn between his need for the truth and his quest to find his perfect mate before horrific transformation claims him forever, Edelon will dare the unthinkable and let Taylor possess him, body and soul. Ooh. Sounds very like, you know, Cressley Cole-ish, and this is a Demonica novel. So I'm very excited to try that. Then I want a giveaway that Garcia did on TikTok. I recently talked about this in a book haul that I did, and I want to get to the books of hers that I haven't read, because I have read 2 books by her, and they're dark and beautiful. And so I got sent this one, and holy fuck, look at it. Damn. Just damn. Just his like eye looking at you. So this one is, I don't know if it's like mafia, but he's like the king of the streets. So whatever that means. And she's going to be his queen. He is Roman king and she's going to be his king or queen. So I want to give it a go because I'm excited to give it a go. Like, the King will reign. Oh, and I got signed copies. So anyway, it's so beautiful. I want to read it. Then I got sent this book from Valentine PR, who I recently got on their like list to receive certain things. So I'm not at the top of their list, but they did send me a box with a few inside. And so I'm very excited about it. And I've never read a book by Emma Scott yet. I've heard great things. A couple of my friends love her. But I got sent this one, and I believe this is a male like second chance romance. It's also like a billionaire romance. And so it's called Someday Someday. And I really want to try to read this one. I couldn't find an audiobook for this one, but that's okay. And I think he's hiding that he's gay. I think one of them is hiding it. But it's also like a workplace one. I don't know. It's so pretty. But I really want to read this and thank them for sending me a gift and like make sure that I talk about it. So then I got sent this by this author's media person. And so again, it's another one that I want to try to read it as soon as I can. And so that is Call You Mine by Claudia Burgoa. And this one is the first book in the Baker's Creek Billionaire Brothers. So I'm assuming it's another billionaire book. And this one is, I think it's a best friends to lovers. It says, I've been best friends with Beacon since we were kids. We shared everything, even our first kiss. Now that we're adults, Beacon's been cockblocking me on my quest to find Mr. Right. No matter how hard I try to find love, he's always getting in the way. My shy, awkward exterior doesn't help. After all, Beacon's the cool one, not me. I play the cello at Carnegie Hall, and he's a heartthrob. The famous frontman of the band Too Far From Grace. Every woman wants him. Every guy either wants to be like him or wants him to. I decided to play devil's advocate and hire Beacon to teach me the dating ropes. Maybe if we work together, he can find me a guy we both approve of. Good luck with that. Except moving to Baker's Creek to work on this experiment isn't working the way I planned. Seems like he's doing everything to convince me that I don't need a man. After all, I have him. So that's adorable. Gonna try to get to this one. I don't read enough like just homey contemporary anymore. I mean, not enough. There's not like a number you have to hit, but it's a thing. Okay, then I picked I picked 5 Kindle books that I own that I need to read. Because I made a list of all of those. I think I talked about this. I made a list of all of my Kindle books that I own, which I have to update weekly because I have so many. And I'm trying to read a good range of them. And so I have them like, literally I have them written down. And then I have them by like trope so that when I'm like trying to decide on one, I don't have to be scrolling through. And I kind of am like blind picking them, right? Because it's like I already liked how they looked when I bought them. But now just like, what's the trope? And like grab the book. So I ended up picking 5 of them. And so here's the ones that I picked. I picked Beneath the Burn by Pam Godwin. I believe this one is a rock star romance. And I only need to read this one and Dirty Ties by Pam Godwin to have read all of her backlist except for the trilogy about cheating. And then I'll be able to do my Pam Godwin video. So that's my goal in May, is to finish these last 2 books of hers so that I can do this video. I'm very excited to do it. Then Wicked Fall by Sawyer Bennett. I think this one has to do with a kink club and someone going undercover there. I'm not 100%, but I found the book on Anyplay, so I want to try to read this one. This was one that I got for free when I did my like digging into Amazon. If you'd like to know how to find free books on Amazon that are not just like KU, check out my 7K Q&A. There's a plug for another video, which I'll link up there, where I go through the instructions of how to find free Kindle books. Cocky Chef by J.D. Hawkins. This is a chef romance. That's all that I remember. That's all that's on my little card. So there's that one. And then King Consort, which I can't remember who this is by. I didn't write it on my sheet for some reason. But this one, I believe, is like if Prince William was gay. And he is keeping it a secret. And then he falls in love with someone. Yeah, I was excited when I bought it too, and now it's time to read it. And then my favorite part of a TBR is my TBR tin cards. So as usual, I do pull these right before I do the video because I want to make sure that none of the cards say that I need to like call someone for some of them. But I have the card inside, so let's go through the cards. So here was the card, and this one was from Dana. Dana gave me this idea. I did this back in December. I had people give me a bunch of prompts, and I put them in, and these ones are all related to historical romances because, yeah, I have 4 bookshelves that are all just historical romances, okay? So I pick 5 of them every month, and we go with it. So this one was the first romance you see when you open your Bookstagram. So this was good that I did this ahead of time because I film on my phone, so I wouldn't have been able to like do this in the moment. But when I opened it earlier today, the first historical that came up was this picture from Sam. So yay! Check out Sam, follow her on Instagram. She does beautiful pictures. Like, I feel like a butcher when I take pictures because they are just not pretty. But this girl does. And she had a picture of these 3 Lisa Kleypas, which one of them I have read, or one of them, I haven't read any of them, but 2 of them I own. And so I picked Love Come to Me as one I want to read. So I plan to try to read this one. I love, there's like snow in the background. And I am really trying to read 1 or 2 Lisa Kleypas every month until I'm done with her backlist. That's not like an official goal that I made, but it's just something that I'm trying to do just for my mental health. So this worked out really good that I saw this book because I'm currently reading Prince of Dreams, which was one of the picks that I got from last month. And then this one showed up, so I didn't even have to flow it in there. It's right there. So this one says, look at the back. He's got a mustache. Bewildered, startled, she felt his lips against hers. Oh, that's a scene. When strong and handsome Heath Rain pulled lovely young Lucinda Cadwell from a winter river, he rescued her from an icy death. But soon he was plunging her into a torrent of passion that this New England beauty had never suspected could claim her. Heath was unlike any other man Lucy had ever known, a dashing, mocking, sensuous Southerner who came as a stranger to Lucy's Massachusetts town and stayed to conquer all the odds against him. As he stripped away Lucy's last shreds of restraint to the demands of desire and the flaming fulfillment of love. Wow, so this is an American set. I think I knew that. I knew that some of her earliest ones were. 1988. I think this is only her 2nd book, and I think this is one of the ones that it's hard to find. Like, I'm very careful when I open it. But I think this one I also have, like, a reprinted copy of it before it, like, went out of print. So I might actually read that copy so that I don't damage this one. But there we go. So that was one of the cards. Then the next card I pulled was from Victoria Maria, who is a channel member. Thank you, Victoria. And it is Read a Historical Romance with red on the cover. Sorry, you can't read the card. I'll hold it closer. And so I just went, you know, my bookshelf here and in my room is color-coded. So what I did is I like to find historicals with audiobooks. So I did check a couple to see which one had an audiobook. And this one by Liz Carlyle is called In Love with a Wicked Man. And it's definitely not the first in the series by any means, but I don't have any other books by her. And this one I was able to find on Scribd. So I'm going to be listening to this one on there. I haven't been using Scribd as much since I found Anyplay, so it's nice because like I have credits to use. So I was like, books that I can't find on Anyplay or Libby, I can grab on Scribd now. So this one is... Okay. So this one is, what does it matter if Kate, Lady Delaney, has absolutely no marriage prospects? She has a castle to tend, an estate to run, and a sister to watch over, which means she is never, ever reckless, until an accident brings a handsome, virile stranger to Belcombe Castle, and Kate finds herself tempted to surrender to her houseguest's wicked kisses. Disowned by his aristocratic family, Lord Owen Quartermain has turned his gifted mind to ruthless survival. Feared and vilified as proprietor of London's most notorious gaming salon, he now struggles to regain his memory, certain of only one thing. He wants all Kate is offering, and more. Ooh. But when Edward's memory returns, he and Kate realize how much they have wagered on a scandalous passion that could be her ruin, or perhaps his salvation. I'm very excited about that. I didn't read the back first. That sounds great. I love that she's kind of like a spinster, and I love this picture too. Just look at his face. Very excited. I love using these cards, guys, because they help me pick books that I just wouldn't think about. Then I pulled a wonderful one. I've pulled this one before. See, I put the cards back in just because some of them I want to use multiple of the things. But, so this one is one that I pulled before, which was Read a Fairy Tale Retelling. And the thing is, I have so many of those, of so many different fairy tales, that it's a good one to keep in there because I could do it constantly pretty much. And so this one I actually am doing a reread because I've recently been recollecting these books, and like I know I read and loved these books, but I don't remember what happens in them. So it's like getting to read a book again, even though you know that you gave it 5 stars on Goodreads, so you're probably going to like it again. And so for this one, I'm going to be rereading The Ugly Duchess by Eloisa James. Just give me an Eloisa James every month. I would love to read one. This one I know it's book 4 in the fairy tale series, but these ones aren't super connected, so you're fine. But this one is about Theodora Saxby is the last woman anyone expects the gorgeous James Rayburn, heir to the Duchy of Ashbrook, to marry. I'm pretty sure this one he's a pirate too. But after a romantic proposal before the prince himself, even practical Theo finds herself convinced of her soon-to-be duke's passion. Still, the tabloids give the marriage 6 months. Theo would have given it a lifetime, until she discovered that James desired not her heart, and certainly not her countenance, but her dowry. Society was shocked by their wedding, and is scandalized by their separation. Now James faces the battle of his life, convincing Theo that he loves the duckling who blossomed into the swan, and Theo will quickly find that for a man with a soul of a pirate, all's fair in love and war. Because, yeah, I think this is they get married, and then he goes away for a while, and he comes back, and she's just, like, really blossomed into society. And now she's like, well, of course you want me, because I'm, like, cool now. Cool is the wrong word, but I'm very excited. I found this on Anyplay. Anyplay has all of the fairy tale books of hers, as well as just, it has a lot of Eloisa James. We'll just say that, because I'm pretty sure it has the whole Wild series, including the newest book. I know I talk about Anyplay all the time, but I'm serious. It's amazing. And it is, I think it was wrong, like, sorry to mention this, like, it is $14.99 if you just do it monthly. It's $9.99 if you sign up for, like, the quarterly rate. Anyway. All right, then I pulled, grab this card. Read About a Duchess. I put some of these in there because I have a lot of books that, like, they say on the cover, Duke, Duchess, Earl, Viscount. You know, they say that. So I put quite a few of those in my deck that just say to read about. So for this one, again, I wanted to pick one that was on Anyplay, and I wanted to pick one that is my owned. So I went ahead and just looked through my app on my phone, and I just put in the word Duchess to see which books come up. And this one came up by Carey Ranney, who is an author on my list of authors that I want to read this year too. So this one is To Love a Duchess, and this is the first book of In All or Love. an all for love novel. So this one is a hardcover I actually got from Book Outlet. And I just love the detail on it. It is gorgeous. This one doesn't even need a step back. They got the money shot right on the front. So pretty. The details on her dress. Ugh, so good. Okay, this one says, undercover as a major domo, spy Adam Drummond has infiltrated Marsley House with one purpose only, to plunder its mysteries and gather proof that the late Duke of Marsley was an unforgivable traitor to his country. At the same time, Adam is drawn to a more beguiling puzzle, the young and still grieving Duchess, a beauty with impenetrable secrets of her own, for Drummond uncovering them without exposing his masquerade will require the most challenging and tender moves of his career. That a servant can arouse such passion in her is too shocking for Susan Whitcomb, Duchess of Marsley, to consider, yet nothing quickens her pulse like Drummond's touch. It's been 2 years since the Duke lost his life in a tragic accident, and even longer since she's been treated like a woman. But when Drummond's real mission is revealed and the truth behind Suzanne's grief comes to light, every secret conspired to tear them apart is nothing compared to the love that can hold them together. So yeah, this one I also found on any place. I'll be able to listen to this audiobook, and I'm super pumped. And then the last one, which I pulled another card that was from Crystal, which I love. Last month, the card that I pulled for Crystal led me to do a video about her. This time it won't. Sorry, Crystal. But I had so much fun doing that. So I happened to pick non-Regency historical, which was recommended by Crystal. And this worked out perfectly because a book that I wanted to put on my TBR anyway was Texas Splendor by Lorraine Heath. I read the first 2 books in this series in March or April. I read the first one in March and the second one just recently. And this is the Texas trilogy. This is the 3rd book. This is about the youngest brother, who is Austin Lee. Yep. And I won't I'll read the back of this one. I read for the other one. Here we go. A man on a mission. After 5 grueling years in a Texas prison, Austin Lee is finally a free man. He can't wait to go home and be reunited with his sweetheart. But when he discovers she didn't wait for him and is now married, he becomes more determined to clear his name of the crime that he never committed. Meets the one woman who could offer him salvation and love. En route to the state capitol, he meets a young woman, Laura Lee Grant, and her dog. When he learns that they have survived a mysterious tragedy, he is moved and curious. And as he spends more time with the lovely, intriguing woman, he sees glimpses of a future that he had thought was no longer possible, as they both find a new lease on life and a love that can overcome any obstacle. So I'm very excited to read this. This series is just, it's so peaceful and calm. And it is like, I don't know. They haven't been books that just swept me away in the passion, but they still have the second book really brought emotions up for me. And we've seen Austin in both of the first 2 books, and we actually see the event that leads him to be in prison for those 5 years. And I just have so much love for Austin, and I'm so sad that he missed out on these years with his family. And so I'm so excited for him to find love. So this worked out great because I was going to add this book either way. And then I was so happy that I happened to pick this card from my lovely friend Crystal. That was for a non-Regency historical because this one takes place in the Old West in the 1880s. So it's perfect. So there we go. That is all my books that I am hoping to read in April. I know it seems like a lot, but I've been doing pretty good with it. I've been reading about 80% of my TBR, and I just like talking about more books, and I like when I see you guys read them too. That really helps me want to read it, because I know some of you, even the books that aren't our buddy read, people will read because they know I'm reading, and that's just, well, number one, it makes you feel special as a booktuber when you see people reading your books, but it also helps encourage me to make sure that I read them too, so that I have something to talk about with y'all. So there we go. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you will join the buddy read with me, or check out my Discord, or check out the romance booktuber Discord, or join my book club. There's so many ways you can connect with me. Make sure you check them all out down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.